pursuit of foreign policy is amongst the most difficult pursuits of any public policy. Because we work in an architecture where there is no sovereign, unlike domestic politics where there is sovereign authority. So it's a very competitive field. It's a field where sometimes competition leads to conflict. Doing well in that requires, if I may say, 3 or 4 big things to be ticked off. One, you require domestic stability. No country can take on a greater role if it doesn't have domestic stability. Look at India for the last 10 years. Because domestic stability is the basis for socio-economic growth. We've had good social economic growth. So we've ticked that under Prime Minister Modi. What's the next thing that you would want for a good activist foreign policy? Number 2, I would say, is a leadership which is willing to take risks. And let's not forget, when Prime Minister Modi became the Prime Minister 10 years ago, he had no experience of foreign policy, yet his first big move was something that foreign policy analysts never thought of, including me. I was then in the foreign ministry. He decided to call all South Asian leaders to his inaugural. This was anathema, yet it reflected a willingness to take risks. So in the Prime Minister, we have a leader who's willing to take risks, and over the last 10 years, he's now established himself as a global figure. So you've ticked off another box. What's the third thing that you would require? You require a good tool or instrument of foreign policy in the diplomatic service. And India has always had a diplomatic service which has been well known for its diplomatic prowess. It's now increased in size. It's now becoming more globalist in its nature internally, in the sense we are taking in people from others. So you've ticked 3 boxes. What is left? The 4th box is you need opportunities. And as was said, that this is a period of tumult. This is a period where there are challenges, but amongst challenges have been numerous opportunities. You've listed some of them. So what happens if you have an period of tumult with opportunities? All you need is a willingness to be more active. And a growing India has shown that. When Prime Minister Modi says that this is not an era of war, it doesn't mean that there will not be wars, because wars are endemic, conflict is endemic to the international system. What he means is that there are no solutions that can be brought about by wars. So if there are no solutions that are going to be brought about by wars, you need other solutions, and that perhaps diplomacy, peacemaking, etc. are the way. So I would think, going forward, if India ticks all the 3-4 boxes above and the world is going to be tumultuous, get ready for a more activist foreign policy where India starts shouldering greater public goods. It's not only in terms of our digital infrastructure, but also in terms of peace and security. So I would think down the line, towards the end of this year, you will find a more activist India, more keen to be willing to take on global responsibilities of a kind it has not taken in the past.